about to hike Pikes Peak. About to find out what it's like to be short of breath for 3 days straight. This is going to be rough. Just started. Car's down there. It's a beautiful day with a beautiful view. Day 1 is about 10 miles and 4,000 feet of altitude, up to 10. And I'll stay the night at bar camp and then I'll summit tomorrow. Don't know if you can see the visitor center up there, but that's where I'm going, where the trees don't grow. I'm about 2.5 miles in and that's still a long way. But man, is it worth it. Nice, cool, shady spot. Lauren, this is right up your alley right here. Up in the middle of nowhere on a mountain, and I guess I found a Super Mario Bros. Shortcut tunnel. I wonder if that'd be easier or harder. Got my first water stop. Found this little stream. As far as I know, there's only one more on the whole time up, so I'm going to take advantage and filter this. I'm going to chug a bottle and fill it right back up. Get as much water as I can. Judging by the sign back there, I guess I'm about halfway to the camp. My best guesstimate is about 8,500 feet of altitude, maybe a little more. I noticed that the terrain has changed some. It's flattened out a little, which is welcome. I'm not a light fella. I noticed the trees have thinned out a little bit, and the types of trees have changed. I guess the trees down there probably can't live up here. But it is still beautiful. Not much of a view, all trees. And if I had a guess, if I was gonna run into a bear, this is probably the most likely spot. So I will watch out. Last water stop before camp. Thought I'd show you all how I'm getting my water. Got this little filtration kit. You fill up the bag and you squeeze it through this filter into my water bottles. And that's where I'm getting my water. It is very tedious and time consuming, and I wish I had bought the model that has the little hand pump. I will do that next time. But every time I do it, I fill up all my bottles, and then I fill the bag up, and I'm able to drink it straight from this. And I made it to bar camp. This is awesome. Alright, well, that's it for today. Now I can rest and hydrate and get ready for a harder day tomorrow. Well, made it to camp. Quicker than I thought. I was thinking it was like 3 or 4. It's 1. I don't know what I'm going to do the rest of the day. I'm going to eat lunch. Take a nap. I have no idea. I got books and games and stuff in the cabin. I'll figure it out. This is where I'm sleeping. And this is the view from where I'm sleeping. It is super, super quiet here. Other than the occasional bird or bug, there is no sound. I don't think most people will ever experience this level of peacefulness. It is amazing up here. Since nobody in Colorado Springs sells the wax fuel tabs, I had to buy these things. This is what I'm going to use to cook all my meals. I really hope they work. Having to cut them up. Yes, Chuck, I'm using a Puko. I'm going to put them in this little thing and light them up and boil some water, and there we go. Well, these things don't light that easy, but once they get going, it looks like it's going to work pretty good. That's actually getting pretty hot already. It's only been a few minutes. So today's lunch is chicken teriyaki. Yay! Well, just left camp. No idea what time it is. Heading up to the summit. I got 6 miles and another 4,000 feet. Got down in the 30s last night. It was pretty cold. Got 0 sleep. A little bit sore and tired, but not as bad as I expected to be. So here we go. Well, I've made it over a mile already. When I crossed that mile sign, I felt like I'd only been hiking 15-20 minutes. It's pretty good. It's just after 9 in the morning, so I'm making good time. I noticed the terrain changed again. It is a lot rockier now. And the trees are different than before. And I can definitely feel the altitude more than I was yesterday. I still don't think I'm at 11,000 feet yet. Not going too bad. .8 miles to go to the summit. Not bad. Something called the bottommost pit. I'm pretty curious what that is, but I'm not going to have time to see it. Maybe next time. Well, 4 miles to summit. So I'm about a third of the way done with today's hike, uphill at least. I gotta come back down. Having to stop more often to catch my breath. Don't know what my altitude is. I think it's over at 11,000. But the good news is every time I stop I can catch my breath within like 30 seconds. I don't know if that's because the air is cleaner or what, but wasn't expecting that. Speaking of which, never thought about Jacksonville having dirty air. Now that I've been here a few days, Jacksonville's got dirty air. think I'm about halfway to the summit. Been a while since I've seen a sign, so I can't be sure. This is the steepest part that I've seen so far. I've got to be around 12,000 feet. And I can tell a difference in the air too. I'm having to stop a lot more often. Having a little bit of a crossroads right here. Seriously thinking about walking all the way back down today after I summit, not staying the night at the camp because I was absolutely miserable last night. Got down in the 30s. It was cold for a little while, but then I made some adjustments and ended up being actually pretty warm. But I'm in a mummy style sleeping bag. You can't move around in those, it sucks. And last night Melissa texted me and said, make sure you take some ibuprofen because you probably have some inflammation and you probably feel better if you do it. And I was like, no, it's already locked in the bear box down the hill, so I'm just not going to bother. Well, I should have listened because I was hurting. Maybe I should listen to her more often. I'm going to edit that out. Well, I just past the halfway point. I thought I was there earlier, but I was wrong. He said I was at 11,500 feet. Not quite as high as I thought, but pretty close. What that tells me is, distance-wise, I'm halfway, but altitude-wise, I'm not. This has been pretty steep so far. That means it's going to get steeper. But I'm at the tree line, and it is amazing. I keep looking up there knowing I have to go up there, and it looks so freaking far from here. This place just keeps getting better and better and better. So I can see the summit. I don't know if you guys can see the little red train right there to the left of it. It's the cog train. That's for wusses. Now that all the trees are out of the way, my God, is this amazing. This might be the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Since I left the tree line, I have no shade left, but that's okay because the temperature dropped by 20 degrees. So it actually feels pretty good. Two miles to go. I'm at 12,700 feet. It is getting harder and harder. I'm having to take breaks every few hundred yards now. It feels like it's going to take forever. Ever since I left the tree line, this is what the trail looks like. Sometimes it's not that easy to see. And there's people that run all the way up this thing and all the way back down in the same day. People call me crazy for doing this over 3 days. Those people are crazy. These little guys are everywhere up here. Well, I'm doing something I didn't think I was going to do. I've got probably a little over a mile and a half to go. It is really, really slow going. And even going really slow, I have to take breaks constantly. So I'm leaving my bag here. I know probably you're thinking, what if somebody steals it? There's literally one other guy on this mountain. And I doubt he wants to carry it down, so I'm I'm gonna leave it. See what happens. So dropping my bag was definitely a good call. It's unbelievable how much that thing was weighing me down. You see that right there? That's the visitor center at the top. I'm getting close. And just found this. Almost there. The sign says this is 1,500 feet deep. I can see little tiny patches of snow in the little crevices up there. I fucking did it. I am at the top. Now it's time for lunch. That's the view from the top. Real tempted to hop on that train or just ride down and leave all my stuff behind, but I won't. I guess it's time to head back down. Well, I did it. Had a sandwich and chugged about 14 bottles of water. Now I'm going back down. This is called the 16 Golden Steps. I'm guessing they're counting the switchbacks as steps. This was brutal. Coming up, and you can see the trails down there. That's where I came up, and I'll be going down those here in just a few minutes or an hour, I don't know. But I'll tell you, walking around that visitor center, I almost hopped on that train. I didn't want to walk anywhere, even on flat ground. But now that I'm going downhill, I feel like a new man. Like, man, this is easy. I literally been there, done that, and got a t-shirt, by the way. This is so much better when you're not suffocated. I guess that made it more special when I made it to the top. I had a good cry, I'll be honest. It's not something I ever thought I'd be able to do, and I was barely able to do it. It was rough. Don't want to dissuade anybody from doing it, but just be prepared. You might want to do some other hikes first. That's what I should have done. And more water. I ran out of water on the way up. I feel like an idiot. Whatever. I'm still alive. I got a bunch of water now. It was expensive, $18, but whatever. It was worth it. So I think I made the decision. I think I'm going to try to hike all the way down tonight. Words cannot express how miserable I was last night trying to sleep. Once my inflamed issues with my hips started taking over, my anxiety kicked in full throttle, and I laid there for 12 solid hours, just absolutely miserable. I don't want to do that again. So I thought about it. Realized that, yeah, I might add a couple hours of tonight, more hiking tonight, and my feet are dead. But the downhill is so much faster than the uphill. I kind of see it as a lesser of two evils, because if I try to sleep again tonight, and I know I won't, I'll be even more miserable trying to do a hike down tomorrow. So I'm going to suck it up and make it happen tonight. Add a room to my hotel. And tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'll be glad I did it. I might be hiking by flashlight at the end, but I'm okay with that. I got plenty of batteries and a flashlight and a headlamp. That won't bother me. We'll just see how it goes.